Okay, guys, so we're here with Jayden Price, young up-and-coming boxer, VENUM, absolutely talent from head to toe. So, Jayden, thank you very much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you as well for the invite.
For the people that don't know you, can you just explain who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I'm Jayden Price. I'm two-time national champion, 20 times box-up champion. I've had 64 fights winning 60.
Wow. So 20-time Box Cup champion?
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
13 years old, yeah?
yeah, 13.
So what's that then? I take it it's more than every year you can fight in the Box Cup?
Yeah, so you can do as many as you want every year, really.
Oh, right, okay, so they just have numerous tournaments. Is that in England or?
Yeah. No, so it's all over. Sometimes we travel to Denmark and Sweden and Ireland and sometimes Scotland, England, Wales. It's just all over the place, really.
So like top competition, then you're sort of fighting boxers from all over the world, all over the UK as well?
Yeah.
Perfect. So sort of when's the moment that you realised that you wanted to box? That's what you want to dedicate your life to doing?
So I had loads of fights in other sports before, but like when I had the first boxing fight, it was just different to the other ones. It just like seemed like a bigger event, like a bigger opportunity sort of thing.
Okay, so yeah, speaking about other fights, I think you had something like almost 200 BJJ fights.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fights to have for anybody in their career, never mind a young lad like yourself. So you said boxing was different, I guess. Was that the fact that you're actually trading blows, or was it just maybe the atmosphere, or what about it?
Yeah, I think because obviously in the BJJ there's no striking, punching, and also in the MMA there's no punching in the face at my age.
Yeah, that's all like body shots, is it?
Yeah. So it's just from the neck below.
All right, okay.
It was just different, like actually getting like punched in the face as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad feeling, you know. I boxed myself,
Yeah.
you know, I boxed for a long time. My brother's undefeated professional, so boxing's in the family. I get it. There's no feeling like a fight. No feeling.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, with the boxing, how far do you think that you can go in amateur boxing and then professional boxing?
Well, I'm sort of hoping I can win a lot more national titles, win the Europeans, and then hopefully I can go into the Olympics, get the gold at the Olympics, and then turn over to go pro.
So that's the plan. Sort of get some major honours with the Europeans, the Worlds, and then hopefully the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I know it's a long way off, but obviously you've been hearing a lot. You know, you're tipped to go on to be world champion. You're tipped to do a lot of great things in the sport. So how would your professional career, if you could write it down, how does it look?
So I mean, obviously have like a few like tuning fights and stuff like that. Just get to know like the bigger events, and then hopefully when I'm on about 20 fights or something, hopefully I can be undefeated to then, and then go on for a world title.
World title aspirations. Have you got aspirations to unify, to continue? You know, some world champions to get to world champion and they're happy. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think obviously once you become one-time world champion, you push for more. Then, like try and become 2-time, 3-time, then like undisputed.
So, would you say boxing's an obsession for you? Is it something that you're doing all the time, training all the time?
Yeah, it's just something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. Really, I always want to go training. I just want to do it all the time.
You know, I say it to people like, obviously boxing's it's a bit of a brutal sport, you know, beautiful sport, but a lot of people that don't box don't understand it. And when you try to explain why you're dieting, why you're running, why you're then going to be rewarded by being punched in the face, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
So what does a day in the life for yourself look like? What do you do from the second you wake up to the end of the day?
So I wake up about 8 a.m. I would say, have a shower and stuff. So I'll come downstairs, have a breakfast, and then we'll head off to the first training session, which is boxing in the gym. Sometimes it'd be sparring, sometimes it'd be pads and bag. And then after that, I'll come home, have my lunch, and then I'll have my second session of the day, which could be either strength conditioning or a run. But sometimes I don't do a second session, depends on what I'm doing in the evening. And then in the evening, sometimes I stay local in Gloucester, just go to my normal club, maybe have a few rounds in there, just with a few of the boys in there. But normally we travel for sparring. Normally it's Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday we travel.
So heavy schedule.
Yeah.
How do you feel with that being so young? You're waking up, you're going to training. Is it something that you enjoy doing? Is it something that you feel like you just have to do to get to the next level? Or
I do enjoy it, and it's just something it's just routine now. I just do it every day, and I know I've got to train hard in the morning and just push myself.
that's it, especially at your age. There's a lot of people haven't started boxing yet. Never mind.
Yeah.
When they do, it's sort of one session with their club on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so you're getting in 2 to 3 sessions every day.
Yeah.
So how many days in the week would you say you sort of train?
So, like on a Monday, I'll train 3 times a day. On a Tuesday, probably twice a day. Wednesday, 3 times a day. Thursday, probably 3 times a day, and then Friday, twice a day.
So you just alternate it like 2 and 3.
Yeah, just depends if I got sparring in the evening. Like if I got like tough sparring, then I probably wouldn't do like a session.
Yeah, it's working for you. You're a top class boxer. I'm stationed here in Dubai. I've heard about you. So your name's getting about. Anybody I speak to, any of my athletes, they talk about you as well. They're saying this kid's going to be great. So for yourself, do you believe that's talent, or do you believe it's more the hard work that you're putting in?
I think it's a bit of both, really. I think obviously I did have talent from young, early, but then it's also I've just worked hard like for ages, really, just since I was 6 years old.
A lot of boxers don't realise that you need to work hard in this sport. I've met a lot of boxers who's very, very talented, but then maybe they don't train as hard as they should.
No.
Any message for anyone who is talented but is kind of just skating by and not putting in the work?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to work hard because, like, there's a saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Hard work catches you down the line.
Yeah.
Me saying that, I've heard about you out in Dubai and a lot of boxers are talking about you. Do you feel like that brings any sort of pressure to any of the fights that you're having and how you approach training?
Yeah, I mean, it does put pressure on me, so, like, because I know loads of eyes on me. I just sort of learned to deal with it now.
Is there anything that you do that sort of makes it a wee bit easier? Because pressure, it can be a lot for anybody.
I just try to like block it out a bit. Just don't really worry about it, sort of thing.
Yeah, just focus on the task.
Yeah.
Let's say you're fighting in championship, national championship. What's your routine? For the likes of me, I have to lay down somewhere away from everybody and sort of think about the fight and then go ahead. What's your day?
Yeah, so normally what I do, I like weighing in the morning and then I'll probably go back to the hotel then.
All right, okay.
I'll go and get some breakfast, just chill out in the hotel because I don't really like being around the venue because obviously it's very loud in there. So I don't like being there. Just chill out at the hotel for a bit and then we'll probably get that back there about an hour and a half from a fight.
Okay.
Because I like a big warm up really. I just like to steady into it. I don't like a quick 20-minute warm up. I like more of like a 45-minute warm up.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. It was something I always hated about my fights was the warm up. Like anytime I warm up, like you said, it's very quick, and I'd feel slow. I'd feel, your timing's not quite there, and then you're ready to fight. And boxing sometimes you can have those doubts. So you're walking at the ring like, oh no, I'm tired. Like I'm not ready.
Yeah.
So you feel the 45 sort of minute, just on and off, slow pace work for you?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm doing the pads and stuff, it intenses. So I'll start off having a skip, then I'll do like my rotations, then I'll go into shadowboxing, and then it's pads. So it's just the basics really. I don't do anything too fancy to warm up.
With the fights, with the championships, like you said, there's a lot of boys there, it's a lot of noise. Do you feel it's maybe a wee bit harder to focus? Because I'm imagining and only assuming that you're getting asked for a lot of photos and a lot of boys want to talk to you because it's a big opportunity for them, but I guess you're trying to focus on the fight as well.
People do ask me for photos. What I do really, I stay in the changing room until about a fight before mine, so I'm not walking out into the crowd and people asking for photos and just staying focused.
That's it. I've seen you take photos with so many people online, so that's great. That's something that you're doing. You're getting to experience life, and of course, if someone's supporting your journey, then it's great to give back with the photos. But when it comes to the fight, you kind of want to focus and then do that.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the toughest opponent that you've ever had in the boxing ring?
I mean, there's been a few. There's been some that they're probably in the best I thought, but they've like come in with a good tactic and just tried to make the fight difficult for me. The ones I thought the Europeans were quite good, the Turkish, the Italian, and the Russian. I don't know, to be fair. I get asked this question a lot, but it's hard to give like one answer. There's just a lot of good boys I fought, really.
Yeah, it's fair enough. You're fighting a lot. You know, like you said, I think it was 60 fights, yeah?
64.
From those 64 fights, you've won 57?
60.
Jesus, that is insane.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just fighting club shows. You know, you're going across, you're fighting a lot of top national champions, what I've been seeing on TikTok anyway. So from these, can you sort of talk a little bit about your first loss? Do you remember it? When was it? What happened?
Yeah, so my first loss was very early on. I fought a good kid. Personally, I thought I won the fight. A lot of people thought I won the fight. Obviously, it was a tough pill to swallow because obviously it was my first one. I was 5-0 at the time.
5-0. It was me, yeah. I went 5-0 and then I lost my...
Yeah, so it was tough, but then I just had to bounce back.
That's it. It's a great mindset to have. I remember I went 5-0, but the way I done it is I boxed the world's bronze medalist kickboxer, and back then you could jump across and fight anybody. You know, now it's more regimented. In my second fight, and I won, and then I boxed 3 Scottish champions and beat them. So it was tough for me to get fights as a beginner.
Yeah.
I can imagine with a record like 60 wins, it's tough for yourself to get fights.
Yeah, it is, to be fair.
So what do your team do to try and combat that, to try and make sure you're so active?
We try and go abroad a lot because we're trying to get lots of fights at the moment to prepare for the national championships coming up.
Right, so you're going for that third title then?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully you get that, bro. So in regards to fighting all these different boys, is there a specific style that you like? You know, Ukrainians box a certain way, the Americans box a certain way. Is there any one that really you fancy that style? You think it's, I don't know, maybe it's successful or it's just eye-catching?
Obviously, having like hands down and stuff looks quite flashy. Hands down by your waist, using your footwork, your head movement. But sometimes you would have your hands up, go into a high guard and start like walking someone down. Say like you're down on the scorecards or something and you just need to put the pressure on.
Yeah, because I've seen a few clips of you fighting and you box different. It seems like you box different in different fights.
Yeah.
Which is good because it shows versatility. I've seen you with the hands up, using the range, coming in with the combinations, and I've seen you go down as well. So what would you say is your style, or do you just like it all?
I don't really know. Sometimes I go into the high guard, sometimes I go into the low hands. It's just what I feel like, really. It's just how comfortable I feel with the opponent. Would
you say that's yourself, just doing that in the moment, or is that coming from your coach and your team before the fight and during rounds?
That's probably coming more from me, to be fair. Just when I relax in there, sort of thing. Like the first round, sometimes I'm a bit nervous and I'm trying to feel them out, and then when I've relaxed a bit, that's when I can start put my hands down and stuff. But me and my coaches, we've worked on like the hands down side and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just comes naturally. You get a lot of fighters that are there, just the hands are all over the place and that. But that confuses the opponents and themselves because it's unnatural. It's harder to read.
Yeah.
So, out of all the places you've been, where would you say was your favourite country that you've boxed?
I went to Latvia about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. That was quite a nice boxing. It was just nice over there. All the people were nice, and it was just a nice country.
Yeah, what was the weather like out there?
I mean, it was freezing. Like,
yeah, I believe you've got about 400,000 followers across TikTok, across Instagram. At your age, it's a bit crazy. Now, what's your friend saying about that, and really, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're becoming famous, or you just block it out?
I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't feel like I'm famous, but then some people class me as that. But I wouldn't say I'm famous yet, but I'm just well known.
Do you ever have sort of random people coming up to you?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like now and then. Sometimes I'm like walking past and I hear someone say my name, like whispering my name to one of their friends, sort of thing. But yeah, when I'm out in public, people don't really ask me for pictures. It's more when I'm actually like at a boxing event.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot of boxers that are at the event, so your face is well.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I got asked, going way back now, I got asked for an autograph. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Got asked for an autograph walking my dog, and I thought it was the craziest experience. Only one time it happened, so people coming up for photos, I can imagine like just hearing my name and being like, oh, did somebody say my name? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit mad that. Has there been any big names from boxing or the fighting community that's reached out to you, i.e. social media or in person?
Well, I've met a few famous boxers. I've met like Joe Kawasaki Jr. I've met Floyd Mayweather Sr. So I've met a few big names.
Oh.
Then I've met Dennis McCann as well.
Meeting these sort of people, that must be a wee bit like pinching. You know, you see them on TV and now you're just having a conversation.
Yeah. It's weird, to be fair. Just like just watching them, like trying to like study them and stuff, and then just meeting them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you do see people from sort of TV or inspiration, you realise how normal people are, don't you? It's this big crazy thing, but all these boys, top of their game when it comes to boxing. So if they passed on any sort of tips or advice for yourself?
I've done pads with Floyd Mayweather Senior. He was showing me a few bits of like trying not to like pull my shots before I throw them and stuff.
I guess you can telegraph, so like keeping it straight.
Yeah. And then most of them just tell me to keep focused, just keep doing what I'm doing. Really,
it's good. It's great that you're obviously getting the opportunity to do pads with like Floyd Senior, because he's one of the top. Yeah. It's a bit of a weird style anytime I've seen it. You know, the way when Mayweather's on those, and it's more sort of timing than anything.
Yeah. I did find it a bit awkward to do, like obviously just because I wasn't used to it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just different to what I normally do.
Yeah, I'd say, like, to be honest, I feel like I'd struggle. Like, when the pads go up, you know, you're smashing in the combinations, the 1-2s, everything. And then if it was just this sort of pitter-patter, it's all about rhythm, I guess, rhythm and timing. So it's good to sort of do that as well. So social media and you're following at the moment, do you sort of get any hate comments, or do you see? And if so, how do you deal with that? How does it make you feel?
There is like people hating and stuff on my social media, and I do see it sometimes, but I mean, you just got to ignore it, really. Normally it's people with like 0 followers on TikTok, sort of thing.
I feel like some people just literally sit about all day and just wind people up in it. But you know, it can be tough, obviously, because social media, I guess a lot of people can say what they want to say and it's unfiltered, but at the same time, there's a person, Jayden Price, is at the end of it, so I guess it could be difficult to maybe hear some things, but it's good the way you're handling it, just cracking on, job done.
Yeah.
So, if boxing wasn't an option, right, let's just say, for whatever reason, they took boxing away, you couldn't box anymore, what do you think that you would be doing? Would you be doing another sport, or do you think you would pursue another passion?
Probably another sport, to be fair. I'll probably go back to MMA or wrestling or something like that, to be fair.
What's the wrestling scene like in the UK? Because obviously it's well known in Russia, well known in America, but you don't really get many boys coming through and wanting to wrestle in the UK.
Yeah, it's not that big really, but I fought one very good boy in wrestling. I only had 4 actual wrestling fights, but I fought Conor McGregor's wrestling coach's son. So yeah, he was a very good kid.
How did you do?
I beat him.
Wow. That's insane, because obviously his dad's a top coach. So what would you say is the path? I think it's boxing, but why boxing over everything else? If you've just chosen that and that's it, you're just focusing on boxing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do the other sports anymore. Okay. So it's been about 2 years now. I've just focused fully on boxing.
Well, I guess you've got your goals. You know, you want to be world champion. You want to do it numerous times. So focusing now. If I said 15 years in the future, you're going to be world champion and people are going to be watching this now, how would that make you feel? Yeah,
I just feel like amazing, really. Just very good. Obviously, that's the end goal, isn't it, really?
That's it. I've seen an old interview with Conor McGregor. I don't know if you've seen it yourself, and it was him talking about how he wants to make more money than he knows what to do with, and he wants to be like 2-time champion, and he went and done that. You know, he spoke it into existence. Yeah. And it was great to see him saying it then versus saying it now, you know. So I feel like this podcast episode, people are going to be looking back and saying, wow, look at Jayden Price when he was younger. Look at him saying those things, and they knew now that you were going to be world champion, and you're obviously putting the work in.
Yeah.
Would you say you study a lot of boxing? You know, you're boxing yourself, but do you ever watch fights, try and pick it apart tactically? Is it something your coach has got you doing?
I don't watch over amounts of boxing, but obviously when the boxing's on like a Saturday night, like better be a bivol sort of thing, I'll come down and watch that. There's some very good fights on, so I'm always watching them. Yeah, so better be bivol. Who did you have? Probably bivol up, but it was a close fight. Close fight. I had it to bivol by 2 rounds, but I wouldn't have argued. Do you know what I mean? It was close as well. Bicoli and Joseph Parker. Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. Yeah, you know, I
I feel for Bicoli a bit, you know, because he took in such short notice. I think reports were saying he got in at 2 a.m. and then he was fighting.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
wearing Daniel Dubois' gloves in the fight as well.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
It's a bit mad, but I guess, you know what, he can go and buy himself a house now, £500,000, and
Yeah.
being in Turkey's good graces is something that I feel like a lot of boxers would want anyway, so I don't feel like it's going to affect them too much.
No, yeah.
So, who would you say is your inspiration in the boxing world? Is there any old-time boxers or current boxers that you really look up to?
Well, I'm always really watching like Canelo. Really, probably Canelo's my favourite boxer. I just had so many fights, and he just is so entertaining.
That's it. He's boxed every day. I think he turned professional at 15. It's just insane.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Canelo's your sort of favourite fighter. Obviously, he's the top boy, and he's the top boy at the moment, the face of boxing. Who would you say, if you're in your prime and you can fight any current fighter now for your world title, who would you want to fight?
Probably like Shakur Stevenson or something. Like, yeah, Terence Crawford.
Right, so with Shakur, proper stylistic match. That's a tough night. It's a tough night, you know, he's hard, he's elusive to hit. And obviously Terence Crawford, I think he can just sort of do it all. You know, he can do it.
Yeah.
I saw him in Scotland boxing when he fought Ricky Burns and won his world title, and we didn't really know about him, didn't know who he was, and I was blown away. Would you want that fight back home in the UK? Would you want that abroad?
Probably Saudi it would have to be.
Saudi now, yeah?
Yeah.
I said it's taken over, isn't it? It's like, I remember when it was the likes of Caesar's Palace and Madison Square Garden, but Saudi boxing's just came right through.
Yeah.
So, talking about your career and just finishing up on that, how would you like people to remember you, or to remember your career once you've finished boxing?
I would just like to be remembered as one of the very best to do it. Really, be very well known. I want like everyone to know me and just go down as one like the greatest. One
of the greatest. So, in terms of one of the greatest, would you say that's in terms of maybe accolades like world titles won and how quick you've done it?
Yeah, winning loads of world titles and things like that. Just being well known.
At what point do you think you would become world champion? What age?
Probably 24.
Young as well. So I guess you're maybe looking to go pro 20 or younger?
Yeah, probably then 21 or something.
Yeah, good age, like sort of fill out a bit, you know, get your man strength and then push on through. Look, Jayden, no doubt you could do it. You know, obviously it's a big task, but you're a hard-working boy, you're a very talented boxer as well. So keep doing what you're doing. You know, like we said, shut that hate out and just crack on.
Yeah.
So is there any boy that you've boxed in the amateurs a few times that maybe they're not a rival, but you've got that bit of thing going with, and it could be friendly or it could be not friendly, but is there someone there that's just like your main rival?
I don't really have like a rival in boxing. In the amateurs, there's a few people that don't really like me. I don't know, they just don't like me. I do get on with most of the boxing boys.
Is there any boy amateur that you respect the talent that you've not fought yet that you would like to share the ring with?
Yeah, there is a few. I'm not going to say any names, but there is a few, to be fair.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully get those matches made and you can get that one ticked off for yourself. So you spoke about your first loss in boxing, you know, and it was a bitter pill to swallow. What would you say is the hardest moment you've had in boxing so far? Was it that or something else?
Probably in the Europeans, getting what many people think is a wrong decision to the Russian. Many people thought I won that fight. Obviously, I was coming up from the year below, so it was just hard because I wanted to come back with the gold, but that just took it away.
So how did that make you feel after?
Yeah, I was just gutted, really. I just put in loads of hard work and training, and then just to get tucked over like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand if you're on the wrong end of a decision or a decision you feel was wrong, it's hard to take, you know. So once that happened, did you take any time off? Did you think, you know what, like, you know, you've had enough a wee bit, or straight back to the drawing board?
And the day I got back, I was straight in the gym.
Yeah.
So I was in the gym that morning.
That's a champion's mindset, that, bro.
Yeah.
Straight back to work. Love that.
Yeah.
And where was it you were fighting in the Europeans as well?
It was out in Bosnia.
Bosnia. So you flew back from Bosnia and then just straight to the gym?
Yeah.
Love that, bro. Love that. So for people that have started boxing, or for people even that don't box, what would you say is the the biggest thing people don't understand until you really start fighting and living the life of a boxer?
Probably like dieting sort of thing. Like people don't really understand how hard the dieting really is until you've done it. Also the training hard, just going training all the time, putting in the work all the time.
It's a lot of discipline, isn't it? Like, people don't really understand getting up at, say, 6 a.m, 8 a.m. to go run when it's raining or snowing outside.
Yeah.
It's tough. So when it comes to your runs, are you running yourself or are you running with your teammates?
No, I just run myself normally. I don't do it outside. I just do it on a treadmill. Like when it's summer, I might do it on the grass or something out in a field. Normally I just do it on a treadmill.
Yeah, mate, the weather in the UK is abysmal.
Yeah.
To be running outside, but I could never run on a treadmill. I could never do it. Like, I'd get a mile in and I'd be panting, but I'd go and do a 10k easy outside.
Yeah.
I think it's just what you enjoy, and I sort of like to go into daydreams outside and just like you're watching a dog or whatever, and then you're forgetting, you're 2 miles in here.
Yeah.
So who would you say, training wise, is your best friend in boxing? Do you have someone that you really lean on, and you both of you are just that sort of support system for each other?
Well, I've got my little mate Danny Carr. He's only 10 years old, but he's the coach's son. Me and him are just together all the time in the gym, training. So yeah, probably him.
Like, it's like gym brothers, isn't it? Especially sparring.
Yeah.
It's like you know so much more about someone by being punched in the face and punching them in the face than you do
Yeah.
at school or any of your other mates.
Obviously, me and Danny don't spar because he's only 25 kilo.
Oh yeah.
24. But obviously I have a few mates in boxing that I can spar and stuff. But I don't really have like loads of people in my gym.
Speaking about your coaching, it's Amin Khan.
Yeah.
What's he like as a coach? And how does he like to sort of train you? What's his thought process on boxing?
Yeah, I think Amin's one of the best coaches in the game. Probably just like he's just clever. He just picks things out when I'm doing wrong and stuff. Even if it's like the slightest little tweaks, like having my back foot a bit wider or something. Just like picking bits out just to help my balance or something.
So he's like, I would say, very detail orientated. He notices.
Yeah. Very clever, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that in a coach. You want someone who's going to pick up on things, I guess, other people aren't picking up on.
Yeah.
So how is he in between rounds? I know for myself, I never remember what happens between a round. Like I can never remember.
Yeah.
But, what's his style in the fight?
Well, sometimes if I'm like dominating the fight, he's just gonna tell me to keep doing what I'm doing. Then he might give me a bit of advice. But if I'm in quite a tough fight, they just give me pointers of what shots to throw and stuff like that.
Good coach. A lot of sort of coaches, they give you too much information when you're trying to fight. So if you're in a comfortable position, he's letting you be free, he's letting you express yourself. Yeah. That's a great coach. Talking about your fights, how do you feel before a fight? How nervous do you get now that you've had 60 plus fights? How do you feel before it?
I still actually get quite nervous, to be fair, because I've got like quite a lot of pressure on me. Even though I try to block it out, I can just feel it's still there, sort of thing. I just feel like loads of eyes are on me.
Yeah.
So I've got to put in a good performance.
Yeah, I guess sort of with your position and people noticing you, it could be every fight you have is someone's first time seeing you, and then that's their opinion of you.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of pressure. So do you feel like you deal with it well? The nerves? Do you feel like you're all right with it, or do you feel like sometimes it can be a bit much?
I think normally I'm all right, to be fair. Like sometimes I feel like proper nervous, but then as soon as I get out into the first round, sort of thing, I just feel them out. Them nerves kind of go. Yeah,
100%. I remember I never got nervous for any of my fights until I lost my first one, and then the next one I was a mess. Absolute mess before the fight, and then since then I was a mess for my next 20 plus fights. But the second they rang the bell, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone in it. So I'll just ask you some questions, and just some quick answers, mate. Just whatever.
All right.
Go ahead. Okay, so favourite walkout song?
EastEnder by Morrison.
Worst boxing advice you've ever heard? I'll give you an example. I was boxing one time and I heard someone shout, "Punch him in the face." Like, that's obviously what I'm doing. Like,
yeah.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
As you progress in boxing, there's a lot of, you move up on the bill, And by the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
you get to the end, everyone's drunk. You know, so some of
Yeah.
the stuff that's happening is just insane. Okay, who would you say is the most underrated fighter?
Underrated. What, like pro, amateur?
Anything?
I think like someone like Callum Smith, who fought the other night. I think he's very good. I think because he's had them losses to Canelo and Beterbiev. I think people have like pushed him to the side a bit, thinking he's not as good as he is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wrote him off coming up to that fight. They're forgetting sort of what he's done,
Yeah,
how good a fighter he is. Yeah,
yeah.
I'd agree 100% on that one. Okay, if you had to fight one YouTuber for charity, who would you fight?
Probably Jake Paul.
Yeah, massive fight, that one.
Yeah.
Maybe a wee bit of a weight advantage for Jake Paul, but I'm sure you fight boys bigger than you all the time, so I'm sure you'd make it work.
Yeah.
All right, if you could change one thing about boxing, anything, what would it be?
Yeah, probably the corrupt judges.
100%. See it too much, don't we? We'll do some stupid ones now, right? So don't worry, it won't make too much sense. Would you rather fight against 5 boxers at the one time or a prime Mike Tyson?
5 boxers.
5 boxers?
Yeah.
Then He's insane. Right, you've got 24 hours to spend £1 million. How are you spending it?
I'd buy some winning boxing stuff. I'd buy a lot of that. Then I'd buy a few houses, and then probably buy a few cars.
Few cars, few houses, and some boxing gear. That sums up Jayden Price there. Houses, would that be in the UK? Would that be abroad?
Probably something like Saudi or something.
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah, mate, Dubai, it's a great place. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, you ever been?
No, I want to go though.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. It's really, really good. The weather's good as well. Obviously, don't come in the summer. Crazy hot. But in the way of life, you know, everybody's so positive. Everybody's sort of trying to help each other and network and build something. You know, there's no pubs. There's no people outside.
Yeah.
Really, really good setup. All right, next one. Who would win in a fight, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
I would probably say Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Would you just like the speed, the range, intelligence?
Yeah. I think he just keep him off him really.
Yeah, I think so as well. To be honest, like he's too smart, too good in his primer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Southpaw socks, we sent you out a few pairs there. We know it was your first time wearing them and trying them out. How did you feel with the Southpaw socks?
Yeah, I mean they are the comfiest socks I've ever put on. To be fair, just feel good in my boots. Just feel like more grip I got on the bottom and the grip bits. Just feels like it fills my boot out more as well. Like my boot's a lot tighter to my foot.
Yeah, but you know what, mate? We had a lot of socks. It was when I used to box, I used to rip them. I used to just wear the Nike. You know, you burn your feet all the time. You got the big holes in the heel. My mum's moaning at me all the time. So I designed these socks because I wanted them to be comfy, but at the same, when you wear some like football socks, you slip. So I wanted to make sure they were comfy, but good for boxing. So I'm happy you enjoy them.
Thank you for sending them out.
No problem. Just quick question. Obviously, you're signed to VENUM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I read somewhere that was history, you know, the youngest person ever, but I'm not too sure if that's true or not. But yeah, how did that come about? How did it make you feel when you signed?
They got in touch with us just about sponsoring me, to try and push their boxing. Stuff, like their boxing gloves, boxing boots and stuff. It's good stuff, wearing their stuff. Good solid boots. They got good gloves.
If it's all top quality stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Is there any other sponsors that you've got on board that you would like to thank or say anything about?
Yeah, I've got a few. Dean Goff gives me a lot of money, so thank you. And I've got a few others as well. Big one coming soon.
All the viewers, stay tuned. Big one dropping soon. Do you know when?
Should be a couple months.
Just stay on the socials.
Yeah.
Just say that. Look, Jaden, thank you so much for that chat today. Guys, make sure you check him out on his socials. We're going to leave some links there. Make sure you're following the journey and see how far this young boy can go. He is a great talent. I believe, and a lot of people in the boxing community believe, that he's going to do big things. So stay tuned. And yeah, mate, enjoy the socks and good luck with all the upcoming fights.
Cheers.
Cheers,
See you later.
See you after.